Hello everybody, welcome back to another video for the day. Now we're diving right back into r/Tales of Neckbeard because you know everybody loves a good old story time. So you know the deal, like the video, comment down below during the video if there's something that you would like to discuss, and afterwards consider subscribing. Let's go. Our first story comes to us from username K the Smash Guy. K the Smash Guy origins. Jealous beard gets cut in line. Okay, I just kind of want to say the reason I'm doing this one is because in the last one where it was from K the Smash Guy, I absolutely loved the story and legit you guys are relationship goals. Like everything else in that, I kind of wish I had that for myself. You guys go great together and I only wish the best for you. Hello again, citizens of r/Tales of Neckbeard. I'm back with another story for you, and it'll be a long one as it is the story of how Elle and I first met and how a beard tried to undermine our relationship. The characters: me, K, 16-year-old at the time, unsocial as all heck, plays video games all day and bullied in school. Elle, 17-year-olds at the time, my now girlfriend of 8 years, almost 9, cute goth girl I met at an anime fan hangout. Jealous beard, JB, actually doesn't look like a neckbeard, was thin and had no bad BO, but oh boy was I in it for a surprise. Elle's male best friend at the time. Bex, for Bro X, Elle's boyfriend at the time. Dude is actually pretty cool and was a real late bloomer in terms of relationships and one of my best friends to this day. Other minor characters I'm not giving a name because of minority, including Elle's female best friend. On to the story now. My youth in school was never really the best. I was heavily bullied in middle school and as a result antisocial and shy as heck, which translated into high school. I found some friends in school that were into video games as much as I am, but abandoned that friend group when they showed signs of what I like to call neckbeardism, thinking like incels and stuff because they couldn't get a girlfriend, because that way of thinking heavily contradicted with my upbringing. Thanks Dad for teaching me proper morals, etc. At that time, I tried to turn my life around for the better, signing up online at a forum for anime/cosplay fan meetups and hangouts. That's how I got into my local anime scene. There was nobody I knew there, so I used this opportunity as a new start and practiced social skills, finding new friends in an environment that I enjoyed. After a couple of months, I found a girl that I really liked at the time and we hit it off together, resulting in a heartbreak 3 months later, crushing my self-esteem once again. But I knew that life had to go on, so I continued going to meetups and socializing. Then came the summer holidays. Come the first meetup in the other city, I am there. None of my friends are. Great! I'm getting coaxed into it and then ghosted. So none of my friends are there, but I decided to stay there anyway. The people there are equally as welcoming to me as my local group. I chat with some of them and we become fast friends. Elle and JB were under those people. I chatted about some video games like Final Fantasy with JB. He seemed like a cool guy. And then came Elle, the cutest goth girl I had ever seen, hair colored completely violet at the time. I caught myself glancing at her more than a couple of times, but actually decided not to expect anything since there was, you know, a giant 120-mile distance between our cities. I was convinced a long-distance relationship would not work, so I decided, frick it, I'm making friends here, but not a relationship. Elle had actually overheard my discussion about Final Fantasy with JB and chimed in. Hey, nice to meet you, I'm Elle. You like Final Fantasy, right? Want to join me and listen to Final Fantasy music together? And sure enough, I sat down next to her and shared a pair of earphones with her while enjoying some quality Final Fantasy music when JB spoke up all of a sudden. Oh, you know she has a boyfriend, right? You know I'm from 120 miles away, right? I'm not looking for a relationship here. Thanks JB, but I'll handle it myself if he tries something funny. Elle gave him this fake annoyed look and then winked at me. I didn't know what to make of this. The day ended. On the train back, I opened up my sketchbook. It's a community tradition to scribble little drawings and messages in other people's books and look at what they drew for you when you're back home. This girl, Elle had not simply written me something. This girl had filled a double page with chibis of several mainstream anime characters and written all of her contact info under it. Skype, ICQ, MSN, forum name, mobile phone number, all with that little note, call me. Meanwhile, inside of my head, are you kidding me? As soon as I don't try at all, I'm getting a number? I called her several times the next 2 weeks. We talked about a lot of stuff. She really has a boyfriend, but is really unhappy in her current relationship as he seems to just view her as a friend even though they were dating. I offer myself to talk to, and she tells me everything that bugs her. We develop feelings for each other, and out of the blue, she confesses to me over the phone. I love you. My heart skipped a beat. I just reply without even thinking. I love you too. She breaks up with Bex. He was really understanding as he felt he wasn't able to give her enough attention. We go on several dates over the rest of the holidays. I get introduced to her friend group and parents. On the third date, I took her home to my place. One thing led to another and we had our first time with each other. I only tell my parents. She leaves and we are both really happy and have made visitation plans that involve a fixed schedule. But Kay, where is the beard in this? I hear you ask. Get ready for a ride. The next morning, my Skype blows up. JB is texting me all kinds kinds of insults. How I could dare to take Elle's puberty away, that I wasn't good enough for her. How does this guy know? I text Elle and ask her if she told him. It turns out she told her female best friend who relayed it to JB. I send her screenshots of the one-sided conversation. She Skype calls him while on the phone with me, ripping him a new one. He apologizes, but I know he doesn't mean it. Elle accepts the apology and they continue to be best friends. Nothing happens for a couple of months, and then JB's birthday comes along. Elle is invited and I'm not. I protest, but Elle goes anyway as he is her best friend. I sit at home playing video games, waiting for her to call me. All of a sudden, I get a video sent from her female best friend along with a message to make the 3-hour train ride and come here as soon as possible. The video featured JB forcing himself upon Elle, forcing a kiss, and then Bex and another friend hauling him off of her. It's the middle of the night. I can't make it there until 5 hours later. When I get to her, she is a mess. All I can do is hold her. Apparently, JB got a black eye in the process, and Bex had knocked some sense into him. Elle wants to ride the train back to my place. I let her come with me. JB is no longer part of the friend group and not allowed near her. TLDR, Beard sits in Elle's friend zone to have a chance with her, and upon Elle dating me, throws a hissy fit at me and forces a kiss from Elle. I cut a lot of things short to make it presentable, so if something is unclear, feel free to ask me about it in the comments, and I will get to you as soon as possible. I will answer questions to the best of my ability to not divulge information that allows people to find us, as Elle does not want that. You know, I'd have to say, you got some really good friends with you if they can give you that type of information real quick. Like, it really is unfortunate that all this happened, but honestly, I have to say, you did the right thing by going over as soon as possible. And when I do say that I really do wish the best for you guys, I really do honestly mean it. Like, legit, you kind of seem like the textbook definition of that relationship is gonna stick. Like, seriously, if you got 8 years so easily, I can expect another 20. So the question is, when's the wedding? And I don't mean that as a joke. I'm serious. You guys probably will be together for a very, very long time. Next story comes to us from username Adidas Demon, who actually went out of his way to thank me on Twitter for mentioning his story before. So here's a continuation of it. Thank you for the tweet, by the way. You're awesome. Science Beard and freshman class memories. Hey y'all, happy Monday. I have another entry when it comes to Science Beard. I've been meaning to write this one, but I've been busy with school, family, and art. Recently, there's been more talk about this specific beard, as in my good friend brought him up in study hall art class, and this opened the gates of mixed emotions and bickering. One of my friends telling me that Science Beard asked her why she was wearing a v-neck shirt, and if it was to show off her badongas. She stopped wearing v-neck shirts since then. Okay, look, I know I can just say something else like tater tots, okay, but I like the word badongas, okay? Shut up, fight me. Hearing these stories at the different interactions people had with this neckbeard is so interesting. It sparked something in me. I remember I had English class with Science Beard, and it was so incredibly frustrating. I repressed my freshman year as a whole for typical reasons, the weird and cringy shot. I do want to note that some of these stories are a bit fuzzy to me, so these are what I can muster up from my little pea brain to remember. I hope you all enjoy. The cast: me, narrator, Kay, just some short Hispanic artist looking for some friends, freshman at the time, and the weird girl. Science Beard, the man, the myth, the beard. I'm going to be calling him English Beard for this story because he was in that class with me and a couple of other friends. Fat, tall, wore the typical New Balance sneakers with the faded graphic tees with the basketball shorts, and still does sadly, wispy mustache, and was growing the now infamous beard. Let's get this started. I would like to state this: I was that weird girl back in freshman year and acted like I was not like the other girls because I was big into Attack on Titan and Naruto. I also drew anime and played a lot of Xbox. I did attract weird/nerdy kids to me, which was fine because everyone needed friends, but it all changed when English Beard was one of those kids. He came into my English class right after Christmas break due to scheduling reasons. No one really knew English Beard despite him being in JV football and being the tallest freshman around. He kept quiet and only spoke to teachers, which was another reason. Nearly everyone in the class was cool with each other, or at least knew one another. When English Beard came into the picture, it seemed to mess the whole friend system up. He was that one kid who would try to correct the teacher's lessons and belittle everyone else around him. No one really wanted to work with him because of his negative behavior. With my poor luck, I was sat next to the beard, and it was by far the worst thing to happen to me in that class. Let me tell you, I did not want him around me in a 10-mile radius because English Beard's BO was foul. This class period was right after football practice, and EB didn't understand the concept of locker room showers and deodorant. Sitting next to such a putrid smelling guy did a number number on my nose. He would try to talk to me about Skyrim and quiz me to see if I was a true Elder Scroll fan. I would answer his questions and tell him about my playthroughs, and he would just scoff at me and tell me I wasn't a true fan for doing some quest before another. Englishbeard would take my sketchbook away from me countless times to take peeks in there, asking me what I drew and if I was drawing anime, etc. I had my sketchbook out to draw when I had time and to jot down some new project ideas. It was also where I kept my papers. Now, there's an unspoken rule about touching an artist's sketchbook without permission. People usually do it one time and stop once they get scolded for it. It's something personal to the artist, and it is like a secret diary, private stuff. I get it, seeing art is cool and you're interested in what lies in the blank pages, but it becomes a massive issue when you try to take it every class period. When I left to go to the bathroom or for a drink of water and come back, people would tell me EB looked through my sketchbook, and it irked me so much. I told him to please stop several times and he just wouldn't. It was to the point where I stopped bringing it and EB got upset about it because he wanted me to draw him something. Classroom discussions were another problem, as EB would try to make everything into a big debate and make fun of anyone who didn't have the correct answer, even though we were supposed to be working together. I do vividly remember this one kid that Englishbeard seemed to hate. It was this tall, light-skinned Hispanic kid with pretty boy eyes. I can't remember his name, so I'll call him Cash because this kid used to flaunt his teeth. Now, Cash was your typical wealthy freshman, smelled nice, dressed well, girls loved him, and extremely popular. Englishbeard didn't really have a reason to hate him, he just did. He would always try to bully Cash for everything he did wrong, to the point where everyone in the class intervened and just told him to shut up. Englishbeard pushed this dude's buttons and Cash just wouldn't crack. He was a trooper for dealing with such a vile neckbeard. I remember one time we were heading back to class and EB took notice of Cash's earrings and he proceeded to ask him this: "Why do you have earrings on?" Cash is a bit confused by the sudden question, but kindly explains to him how they were a gift from one of his relatives. I know it's common for Hispanic parents to give their kids ears pierced at a young age, so I can see the reason. Englishbeard then bashes Cash for having his ears pierced and insults his masculinity, saying how if he was a man, he wouldn't wear earrings and he looks girly. Cash was honestly speechless during this whole ordeal, and it wasn't until someone in the class scolds EB and tells him to quit being such a prick. EB gets defensive and starts to argue with the random kid in the class. Everyone is just at their limits and the teacher steps in, stopping the argument before it escalated. People felt bad for Cash, but he did his best to brush it off. That's really all I have to say about this neckbeard, the worthy ones at least. Some small inconveniences sprinkled here and there. Thanks for reading. I also want to thank the Storytime YouTubers for reading my stories. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, dude! You honestly kinda gotta wonder why the neckbeards still kinda think that these type of insults are effective to any way, shape, or form. Like, seriously, what are you going to do? Oh, so you're not manly? Oh, I'm sorry, do you look like you can lift any weight above 40 pounds? No, you don't. You kind of look like you weigh 40 pounds in your arm alone. And here's the thing, if you smell like bug repellent, or you know, the stuff that kills bugs on contact, I don't think you really need to be around anybody trying to insult them whatsoever. It does suck that you have to deal with that person. I don't know if it's still going on, but it does happen, yeah, more than once, definitely. But I'm hoping that things get better for you. And with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you would like what you had seen, be sure to like the video, comment down below what you liked about the video, and consider subscribing. Also, like I said earlier in the video, I'll have a link to my Twitter on my channel. The little blue bird, you know what the Twitter icon looks like. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.